one. SDS SuperCoach, providing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present my round 7 preview. And my housemate's just in the corner here. He's just in the background chilling. All right, so we'll go over the round preview. So we got the news with the Sunday team. So with Massimo being managed, so if anyone doesn't know, Massimo's being managed. We are getting in. We are keeping him now. So my original trades were like Tunstall, Tunstall in, Walsh in, and Hugo Garcia in. But now with the news of Ivan Soldo being out for 4 to 5 weeks, we are now going to bring Jordan Sweet in. And we're swinging Livingston up into the forward line. So basically, we lose that DPP loop, but we've got best 22 for about 5 weeks. Ideally, Sweet gets like 4 price rises, then we can get him out of the team once he's cashed up, and hopefully Ken Hinkley doesn't do anything stupid with Sweet and just gives him a good run for 4 to 5 weeks. They brought him in for a reason. Surely he doesn't get dropped over the next few weeks. So this is all obviously depending on how he plays, but we're getting Jordan Sweet in. We got Garcia in. We're keeping D'Ambrosio just so I can get Blake House's score. And I think, I might be able to hold Massimo for one more week after this as well, because his break even's 45. I doubt he'll be sub the week after. So I think we'll just see. I mean, if rumors are that he will be sub or he's not playing, then we'll move him on. But yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with Massimo being managed, because I'd rather him either know that he's playing or he's been dropped, or he's out of the side. Last worst case scenario would have been that he would have been sub. So pretty fine with that. So at the minute, I'm still mucking around with trades because Sweet and Garcia are definitely in. It's just more dependent on what I do with Massimo, Zach Williams, or Dempsey, and then Walsh, and then with how little I'll explain. So if Dempsey is sub tomorrow, because I actually got a weird feeling he could be sub tomorrow, because if sub is based on players on the bench, I mean the next candidate, it's a pretty strong Geelong bench, so it could be it's so if they're naming a player off the bench to be sub, then it will either be Dempsey or Brandon Parfitt. Brandon Parfitt's been in really good form. Dempsey over the last couple of weeks has struggled. If he is named sub, then we move him on and bring Zach Williams back into the side. And we move. Oh wait, how would that work? Wait, I haven't thought this through. Anyway, if Dempsey's out, then we actually don't have enough money to bring in Zach Williams. So what we'd have to do is we'd have to skip Walsh and bring in Jack McRae. So he's a guy I'm somewhat interested in, but not. I think he's top 6. But the thing is, with no Liberatore last week, I'd just like to see how Jack McRae would go for one more week before we jump on him, because blokes like Sam Darcy and Hugo Garcia are not blokes or Cadman I'm not very keen on putting on field. So if we can remove one less, if we can remove a bad rookie off the team, that'd be ideal. But remember as well, Harley Reid's out as well this week, so that sort of thing. So anyway, basically the point is, if Dempsey sub, I'll bring in Jack McRae and keep Zach Williams. If actually, how would that work? Oh yeah, and I vice captain Max Gorn. I'll have to think of it off video, but how that would work. But I vice captain Max Gorn. So we'll get Graham. We'll get Graham on field. And I'll looped Livingston with Cadman and Garcia. I think we'll put Garcia on the field to 953. I just don't think it's enough. I think Garcia, if he can just deliver us a 60 or more, that'd be fantastic. Not super keen with Lob in the team with having Sam Darcy on field, but with Harley Reid out, our options are pretty limited there. Keeping Massimo because I want to get House's score on field. We're off to a good start. Max Scorn, vice captain, beautiful stuff, 162. Tom Green bounced back massively with a 159. Wasn't too far off his 183 break even. So I think if you don't have him, I think people look to get him in next week. House on field is 87's very solid, and then Nick Dacos 128 will take that, especially with a little bit of attention from Sam Durham in the stoppages. And yeah, hopefully we can continue this good form. The past few weeks have been pretty poor for me. So looking to bounce back. And we'll just see what happens with Dempsey if he's named sub. Then we'll get in Jack McRae just because I can't afford to go Dempsey back to Williams with 14K in the bank here. So down to 24 trades, but upgrading the sides, they're not too fast. One boost left. So I think plans for next week will be probably just the one trade, and that might be either a Cadman or a Zach Williams or a Dempsey down to Riley Garcia if he does well this week and he's not named sub the following week. So we'll just see how that goes. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good round. To look over some of the Mammoth scores, Andy McGrath went pretty well, but McGrath or Josh Kelly aren't really relevant. Merritt 127, that's as solid as it comes. Good result for anyone that has Whitfield and good result for anyone that has Nick Martin there. 125 and 124. Merritt, good result. So I think a lot of people are off to some good starts there. Nick Martin's goal in the last quarter really helped his scaling. Whitfield didn't pay too much attention after halftime, but 125, you absolutely take that. And then Merritt 127. It's really what you paid for, really. If you went up to grab him, Dunkley, very solid again. Don't think I'll get him in this year, but I think he's a good pod for anyone. Himmelberg was all right. I was really impressed with Finn Callahan. I thought he had a great game yesterday. Thompson Dow finally showed what he's worth. Any other? Daniel Turner's interesting, 101, 190K defender though, so that's a bit of money to pay up at this point of the year for a defender. So we'll just have to see how he goes next week. Next week. Who have Melbourne got next week? Spud. Who've Melbourne got next week? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I've got my own Siri here in Spud, so he can tell me. Okay, Melbourne have Geelong. Thanks. So we'll just see how he goes against the Cats there. Geelong are a much better side than Richmond, so might get limited there. I mean, he got 3 goals to kick 101, but something to monitor maybe. Caldwell, could he be top 6? I mean, he's playing pretty solid footy, so just another one to monitor there. Might have to wait for him to drop in price a bit. Baker, a little bit too wishy-washy for me. Who else we got here? Petrarca. Now, this is very interesting. I think I was actually surprised he actually scored that low against the Tigers. They're one of the easiest teams to score against, but I'm very interested to see Petrarca's price in a couple of weeks because I still reckon he's a top 8 midfielder, so I'll certainly need a plan to get him in. So if we can grab him at like 560, 570, that's an absolute steal there. Got Briggs in draft. He's been rough, a rough pick. Clayton Oliver, 82. But I think Melbourne have said that they have a bit of confidence in him down the line because his fingers cleared up. I think he had a foot issue and another issue, but it all seems to be good, but still only scoring 82. Depends how bad cash generation is. Maybe a bloke you get in and then you flip. So just something to monitor there with him. There is a rookie I want to talk about. Darcy Jones scored a 75 for the Giants. Just someone to keep in mind. But do remember he came in with Brett Daniels as a sub. Now you might find that a bit weird, but apparently he was dealing with a bit of an issue. So with a little injury. So just something to monitor there. I think Brett Daniels will come back into the side next week. Then along with Toby Green as well, who was also out due to suspension. So not sure if he holds, but he did play very well to make a case for him to stay in the side. Lockie Neal, I think that's a pass for me just due to age, and I think we've got better midfield options. Windsor, if you held on to him, that's a good result. Scored a 69, so that's pretty good. Shy Bolton scored a 67. Now, this is the issue with the Shy Bolton pick is just due to the inconsistency that he brings. So he might end up being a top 6 forward, but I guarantee you we'll be able to grab him at 450 if needed. So he's just another forward option out there for people. He'll be able to drop in price. Anyone else really? 2.7% have Nick Cox, and that's baffling. Jacob Hopper did a mild hamstring strain, so he's out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So probably a good result for people that have Kane McAuliffe because he could come back in the side, but I believe Tyler Sunsey played really well in the VFL and he might be the one replacing Hopper, so that's a bit of an L. I brought him in early. That was rough. McKelty Lafau, he's 184K, scored a 63, so he'll be able to make some quick cash for people, and then you probably very soon flick him off. But remember, after next week, his 108 will be out of his price cycle there. Lecalier is another interesting one. Scored a 53 and a 61 in 2 games. 123K rookie. But the issue with Lecalier is that there's no Sam Taylor. Is he the one that just drops out of the team because he obviously came in for he obviously came in for Sam Taylor. So I think he's a good rookie if he can stay in the side with no Sam Taylor, but probably gets dropped would be my guess. Dusty's just about cooked. Hogan, slower game from him. I still believe if you're going to go a key forward, I think he's probably the best one. Just because of his work rate, gets up and down the ground. Billings, what a dud pick that was. Uh, my housemate my housemate Spud brought in Dane Zorko. He's not too pleased about that. He was absolutely filthy. So 56. I mean, he started in the forward line, spent the last quarter down back, but bloody rough for anyone that brought in Zorko. I think he'll still be a top 6 forward, but certainly a guy to look at when his price gets cheaper. Tom Brown, 55. If you held on to him, that's totally fine. Probably a bloke you can move on pretty shortly. Cadman, 53. That was all right. Probably a prime candidate to be traded out next week. But he's absolutely done his job. 152K made, and his break even was 36 here, so he'll make even more money. He's been a fantastic rookie, so very happy with him. Tom Mitchell got subbed. Jacob Ware, some people have Jacob Ware, scored a 49. Kyle Lohman, 46. That's rough for anyone that got him in, but he's made you a bit of money, so not that big of a deal. Naismith, if anyone held on to 27% have Sam Naismith, 44. I don't think it works, so I think he'll just come in for when Nankervis is out injured. I assume he's going to get dropped next week, although Richmond's injury list isn't looking too good. Anyone that have Seth Campbell, he's a trade out next week. Goldie only got a 36. Wow. And then we're just looking at a lot of sub. I was actually looking to get in Jimmy Tunstall, but with him being named sub and with the Soldo news, I decided to get in Jordan Sweet instead. And yeah, that's the review of all the players. And look, we'll wrap things up. I'm gonna have to sort out what happens if Dempsey is sub and I can't get because that might not mean I'll be able to get D'Ambrosius. I'm sorry, Blake House's score. I'm not too sure, but I'll figure that out after this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are having a good start to the round. I've got a feeling some people are. So make sure you like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Best of luck this week.